Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to the channel. I made the numbers really big on the right, so it's a little bit easier because I was rewatching one of my videos on YouTube and I was like, yo, what's that price? And I was like, dude, that's what people always say to me. Oh, man. So I felt terrible. The thing is, every time I get in, it changes. It changes back to like 12 or 10 fine or whatever. So then, like, I don't think to, oh, I need to make the prices bigger or whatever because I'm used to seeing it small like that because it looks good on my screen. But I understand it can be difficult to see on yours. Hopefully you had a good day today. We're gonna hang out today. I'm gonna make a couple videos. I want to talk about a couple different topics. But I tweeted out that I am bullish on AMC going into next week, which is profound, right? Because I am notorious for calling for a little bit more downside all the time. Before I get into it, like, I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. Maybe this will be the big video. Like, I'll just make a big video and then I'll make smaller videos that break down the smaller ideas. That might be a good idea. But I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea, right? Like, I'm not saying that you should go out and buy YOLO options and, take incredible risk going into next week because it's a guaranteed thing. I think that you guys know me better than that if you've been watching the channel for any amount of time. You need to have a healthy relationship with your position at all times, right? So it's very important that you're looking out for yourself, being emotional and being greedy. Because once you start being greedy, that's when, weird shit starts happening and you start making irrational decisions, and then those can come back and bite you, especially in the market, okay? So, let me tell you like a couple reasons that I'm optimistic going into this week. Everybody knows that not everybody, I guess. I mean, that's kind of a broad statement, Dave. I mean, geez, everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows though that next week there is a ridiculous amount of options. The open interest next week is like literally a million options, like 700,000 calls and like 300 something thousand puts, which is ridiculous for next week. So, I mean, just to give you an idea, let me see. This week that just passed, there was a total of 215,000 options open interest. So there are a ridiculous, literally 5 times what was there this week is there next week. And a lot of those calls are actually in the money, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, and I'm not gonna sit here and dig through it, but I know that a lot of them are in the money. Don't trust me. How about that? Go and figure it out yourself. But yes, there are a lot of calls that are in the money for next week. And so what does that mean? Well, what it means is as price is higher and more contracts or more call options are in the money, market makers have to hedge and buy more stock, to fulfill those contracts on the back end, right? Because if you have a call option that's in the money when it expires, you have the right to buy 100 shares. So what I'm saying is, because so many calls are already in the money, and a lot of people have already talked about this, by the way. I'm not breaking new ground here. This is just like a simple market economic thing. And to be honest with you, I am much less specialized in this field than somebody like Tyler Wilson investing would be. So make sure you go check him out, because I'm sure that he'll be talking about this weekend or going into next week, and he'll be able to give you a lot more data on this. I'm a real technical guy, I like chart. But from a broad perspective, the reason that this is important to me right now is because I think, like, lately, AMC has been dumping hard, but so is SPY. Oh, let me get all this off the chart. Sorry, I was just tracking some of my stuff from today, trying to see how I could have did better. But trading SPY is fun, but you gotta make sure that you're not like you're not doing anything weird. Anyway, because it can be stressful because it's always like 0 DTE, you know. But basically, this is my thesis. Okay, this is like the base thesis for what I'm going to say here is SPY is testing this long-term trend line from like April of 2020. Okay, it's touched it a bunch of times, touched it here, pretty much touched it here. It's more of a zone, right? It's testing this and it just bounced off of this today. Okay. I believe SPY is in a big old nasty, ugly, gonna really mess everything up. A lot of people are gonna be very sad. Rising wedge, okay? That's the nice way to put it. I believe. Let me look on a higher time frame. It'll be easier to illustrate. I believe that SPY is in a big, nasty, ugly, disgusting rising wedge, okay? And things are not gonna be awesome, okay, when this thing breaks. But right now it's at the bottom of it. And I think that, you know, Composite Man, the government, all those guys, you know, they're coordinating with each other right now. And they're saying, look, we're losing liquidity on the top end of this thing, and I think that probably there's going to be a correction. Look, I'm not accusing anybody of collusion, okay? This is just the conversations that I think Composite Man has with himself. And so what they do is, like, they say, yeah, you know, going into the middle of the year, end of the year, whatever, we're going to have to hike interest rates, yada, yada, which everybody knows that's going to do terrible things to equities. They're dealing with insane inflation numbers. They're, like, celebrating 7% inflation, right? But I think that in the meantime, they continue to sort of absorb this liquidity, right? They go to the upside. And I think that you're going to see SPY generally swing up going into the next few weeks, okay? So AMC has been tracking SPY pretty good the past couple weeks, okay? Past couple weeks, as SPY has been going down or up, AMC has generally gone down and up. And I mean, that makes sense, right? I mean, AMC is a stock. The SPY is the most influential index. The market in general, how it behaves is going to have an impact on AMC. Now, AMC is underperforming the market over the course of months, right? But when it comes to the past few weeks, I've noticed, you know, I've been watching SPY a lot because I've been basically teaching myself how to scalp it and day trade it. But, you know, I'm watching it, and as it's been doing this big old dip or whatever, obviously I'm looking at AMC. I'm like, oh, like, okay, it's dipping with it, and then it kind of had these upward moves here were during more bullish times in SPY. And so I'm not saying that there has to be a correlation because AMC has, like I said, underperformed SPY over the course of the past few months, right? But right now, I think that this overselling is more broad market than it is AMC, and AMC already being weak over the course of the past few months is causing it to react more viciously, in a more volatile fashion, okay? I'm saying all that to say that I think that it's possible that if SPY does have it swing up, like I'm expecting it to, or at least begin its swing up, like I think SPY will probably go to like, I think it can swing up to like 470, 475, not financial advice. Come up and retest these levels, right? Another thing that you have to be concerned about is that there is kind of this shorter term kind of wedge happening here. Like if you're really into SPY, that's another thing that you probably should be thinking about. I just noticed it, so I just wanted to point it out. But anyway, yeah, going into like April, May, I mean, depending on how the chart goes, but I'm gonna have a hard time like being like, yeah, man, like the market's gonna, you know, keep going. I mean, I guess it could keep going until August, but I think that's the most optimistic sort of thing. This sort of pattern, it doesn't lie too often. But anyway, yeah, I think that you see that swing up, and you could see SPY at 480. I mean, you could really see a crazy move by SPY over the course of the next few weeks. And so AMC, those calls that are already in the money, if the price goes up, it's going to start pushing more and more calls into the money. And these calls are not going to be hedged for, in my opinion. I don't think that they're already like hedged for. So I think you could start to have a gamma squeeze sort of effect because of all these calls that are going to end up in the money. Now, what I will say is it's very dependent on SPY. If SPY dumps, right? Or AMC by itself dumps. If somehow there's an effort that comes in that dumps the price of AMC, then all bets are off with this thesis, okay? But I do have a couple other things that I'd like to point out. And I wanted to point out this wedge. This, to me, okay, right here, and I've talked about this wedge before too, by the way. Like this is something that we've talked about before, but this section of the wedge right here, right? This highlighted section, this is a very good falling wedge. Very good. Why do I say this section and not include this? This is a trend line back here, okay? This isn't, I don't want to consider this as part of the wedge because it's just not, right? This is a totally different trading zone. But noticing this, what it can tell you, and you even have, support and rejection here, is that this line is respected by the price. We have briefly broken below it, right? But we have not spent an extended period of time below this line. And so once you get into this newer trading territory right here, what this line can be telling you is that from a general standpoint, it's being respected and that selling is weakening, right? As you're going into this more aggressive sell-off, once you get down to the bottoms of this line, it's progressively weakening. That's what falling wedges tell you. And this correlates with the idea that I recently talked about. I believe I talked about it in my video yesterday. If not, I definitely talked about it during the week. But that this could be your spring, right? And we said, hey, we could come down to this 1950, right? We did it based on Fibonacci. I think it was the 0.5 of this move, not mistaken. Yep. So we called for the 1950 on this 0.5 Fibonacci. Boom, we got this bounce. We bounced right off. I think we literally bounced at 1950. 1952. What a year. Just kidding. So this could be this could be behaving as the local spring. The spring within the spring, within the spring, within the spring. I mean, look, we've been pretty on point with this. Lately, we've said, hey, this move here, this move up, could be you coming up out of this accumulation and moving up. And I said that the most likely scenario was you would come down to like 25, 26 before you start to round out and head back to the upside. But I said the second most likely scenario was that this was a phase B distribution within an accumulation and that this would be your local spring. If you broke below, if you came down here, I pretty much was saying, look, you're going to come down, you're going to test 19.5 based on Fibonacci. And so now we've tested it, we bounced right off of it, right? Which is a good sign. So this correlation with that falling wedge that I just showed you, and I think I have another one. Wait. Oh, it's the top. You can also draw it this way. And again, it's the same concept, right? This is a respected trend line, right? You see the price reacting to this trend line. And then now it's having this ultimate point where maybe it could push lower if you use this trend line. It could push lower down here to 1750, which is another Fibonacci zone that we've talked about before. I believe that if you do this fib and then you take log scale off, 1750 is the 786 of this one. Oh no, 1965. Holy shit. Maybe this is the bottom. Sorry. I did not mean to do that. Wait, how did I get 1750 before? There's a fib that's $17. Okay, maybe it's this one. So yeah, maybe if you say, okay, this larger wedge, right? Because again, it's a trend line here, but then it becomes, okay, well, this is a valid trend line, and now you're getting this movement down to the downside. If you bounce here, or here, really, right? If you bounce at the bottom of this, you're basically signifying, okay, bearish price action to the downside is getting weaker before you have your reversal. Falling wedges are reversal patterns, by the way. And again, nothing is guaranteed, but this combination of things, you guys know, if you've been watching the channel for a while, Dave is, I'm historically, like, I'm not the guy that's going to come here and tell you moon tomorrow and stuff. That's just not what I do. On a longer term, I'm confident that you have a very big price swing for AMC. And yeah, sure, I've called for more upside in the past and been wrong. But generally speaking, I have been very measured. Whenever I started the channel, I was calling for this falling wedge, right? This falling wedge broke out. We had this move to the upside. As soon as we got up here to this $44 zone, I was like, yo, no, this looks weak. There's no way. I see us going down. I started calling for downside. Once I saw this was another wedge, this thing just does wedges over and over again, by the way. Once I saw this falling wedge, I was like, hey, we can have a swing to the upside. We have the swing to the upside. Then there was a rising wedge and a distribution type pattern here. And this was, oh man, this was like my most famous. Everybody was calling me a shill and everything. We pushed up to like $46, and I'm sitting here going, I think that we're gonna pull back. We pulled back, and I thought that 38 was gonna be the bottom, if I'm being honest with you. We bounced up. I started seeing that weakness again, 44. This was when I really started getting called a shill because it was right after this one. Now I remember November, yeah. And I was like, oh no, it's another weak move to the upside. It was another rising wedge or distribution pattern probably. And then we started dumping. And I was calling for like 30, 36, 37 on this, I think, 36, 38 range. And then we just kept dumping. And then I went to Disney, which was perfectly timed. And then we did this thing and then, all that. So anyway, that's the story of Dave. I'm sure you cared so much about that. Oh, and by the way, I did want to say too that where you closed here, look at this. Look at this candle, right? You have this $20.36. This top here in January, right? What is this? Yeah, perfect. Right there on the wick, $20.36. And somebody commented, and I was like, you know what? You're right. I can just click auto, and it fixes it. Look at this candle. Look at this. I mean, you broke down. You bounced up. Right? And you bounced up pretty hard, but then you closed right here. I mean, you closed, the candle is basically just sitting on top of this $20.36, right? Man, to me, I think you have good reason. I do. I think you have good reason to believe that there's going to be upside. And that's aside from all the algo and the research that's going on in that front. Guys like Extreme Gains and Rico and Booksy and Trading with Emotion and Astro have been doing, right? Where you're correlating, I believe, like this section of the chart is one of them. So you could say, oh my, dude, bars patterns. I think on log are even harder to control on desktop, but I am so much better at doing them on mobile. I don't know if I'm the only person in the world that's like that. Oh, maybe I made it worse by doing that. Hold on. Is this what you came here to watch? Did you come here to watch me do this? Do this? Struggle with this like this? Look at this is embarrassing. I mean, what? How is a human supposed to be able to? Hold on. Let me slow down my DPI because I got a gaming mouse and then try. Dude. Come on. You can do it, Dave. You got this, dude. Okay. All right. I'm about to give up. I'm giving up. Hey, yeah, it's impossible. It's impossible. That's impossible. Anyway. All right, that was fun. Anyway, you're correlating this zone with this zone. Okay, and then you're correlating this zone. Change the inside of this to yellow with this zone. We do this on the channel from time to time. It's kind of fun, right? And you're correlating this zone with this zone. I'm sure you're starting to catch my drift, but I'll finish it for you. And then you're correlating probably this zone, right? Green with this zone, right? And you can see the similarity there. And then also what I was saying before, and this is the secondary thing that Extreme Gains has been covering from a more like, he calls it Big Brother, Little Brother, if I'm not mistaken. Extreme Gains. He's saying also, and I've said this as well. So I'm not like just throwing it on him. If it's wrong, it's not his fault. But I mean, this is pretty, pretty similar movement here, right? Like you got this like, I mean, you can see it, but I'll draw it anyway, I guess. Oh, look, maybe I can do a bars pattern for this, because I don't have to adjust it as much. Huh. It might be because it's on log scale that when you do like the really big ones like that, it just makes it hard. But yeah, you can see, I mean, this is a very similar move, right? So am I saying that's like a reason to go out and buy 145 call options? No, not saying that at all. But what I am saying, this number of things is relatively promising in my opinion. Oh, and by the way, all those patterns that I just showed you that are like the same as each other, Doge is popping off. Yesterday it was popping off while I was making my video, and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" That was pretty funny. But yeah, if you look at Doge, holy weekly chart on Doge, what the if you look at Doge and what it's done recently, you actually have a really similar pattern on Doge, which I'm sure maybe you're seeing now. I'll make it. Wait, hold on. How do I want to do this? Hold on. But yeah, so you can see you have this, this move down here. Oh yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to take this off here. So look at it from here. And then look at it from here. Again, dude, somebody's going to say, "Oh, why do we care about fractals? It's not, it doesn't matter. I like TA." Everybody's different, I guess. Like everybody's gotta have their thing. Let me just split screen it. Look, I'm so addicted to Doge that I already have a Doge chart up anyway. So just bear with me. We'll switch this to candles. Go to daily on this, maybe. Dave, I came here for TA. You're sitting here. I'm here for AMC. Sitting here zooming in on Doge charts. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah. So, yeah, you see, you have this, right? This, the TA you all came here to. Mommy, there's a guy on TV. He's saying this a lot. What's up with that? You get the idea. Nah. This is like the meme algorithm, okay? That's what this is. I want you to know that I don't know if it's like, I mean, I don't think it's organic, okay? But I think it's like maybe it could be because it's like reactive, if that makes sense. So it like reacts to, like, there are whales that are trading all of these assets, and they're doing so in a way that is completely just reactive to whatever retail is going to do so that they can create these patterns. I don't know why they feel the need to make them all the same. It seems a little lazy to me, but you can see you have this double bottom-y kind of move here, boom. In the purple, you have this distribution-y looking thing here in the teal. Did you like my color selection? You have this distribution here in the orange, and then you have this kind of accumulation thing going on in the green. And then again, because that's so similar to, right? Because we said that it's similar, the AMC right now is similar to AMC in 2020 before the January pop. So is Doge, right? By way of that, it kind of it's similar to both, just even more disturbing because this was in 2020, which was way before any of this meme stock stuff happened, which we've talked about before. Panel almost done. Teal and purple, double bottom. Right. So look, you got a few reasons because you see Doge absolutely popping off. And look, if you take Wix away, because Doge had this, like, the whole crypto market dumped right here on December 4th or whatever. If you take the Wix away and you just look at it, you do have the same double bottom, right? So it might have gotten overextended by that general crypto sell-off, but you still have this. Yeah, I mean, it was a quick, like, wick down and then just jumped right back up. You have the same kind of double bottom, this built-in distribution sort of move here. I'm sure you can already, and if you put the wicks back on, see, you get the higher moves too. It connects for you, right? Whoop, 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 whoop. So yeah, weird stuff going on out there in these streets, guys. Yeah, so those are all the things that I'm watching. I got like 10 eyes. That's how I'm able to watch all these things at once. I got some of them. I got eyes in my ear hole, and I can see to the side as well. So I have, like, just picture my office. It has like 20 monitors in it, okay? And they're, like, all around me, and I can see them all at once. It's like a Daredevil thing because I can hear so well that it's almost like I have eyes everywhere. It's kind of like that. My spidey senses are tingling. Okay. All right. This was the big video. Hopefully enjoyed. I'll make shorter, quicker videos that are referencing all these things, perhaps, so that you have the bite-size options if you want to watch those, and then you have the big option if you want to watch that. Maybe I'll do that. I'll probably not remember to do everything in regards to that, but you get the idea. Anyway, hopefully you have a good rest of your day. Well, have a good weekend. Have a good weekend. And manage your emotions. Be a powerhouse. Don't let markets, like, control the way that you think or you feel or anything like that. You're strong and you're a person and you're smart and you're able to figure shit out. So make sure that you're keeping your wits about you. You're staying in the game. You're staying focused on what you're trying to accomplish, and you're doing things that you can control to get you where you want to go, right? You can only control so much about AMC and what you do with it. But in life, you got to be able to control other shit that you're doing so that then you can make real progress. And then shit like AMC just becomes like, oh, it's a good thing that thing went to fucking $1,000 a share or whatever, like, and I just happen to have shares. Go out there and control your destiny, all right? And don't take too much fucking risk. Don't be crazy, okay? All right. Have a good weekend. Peace.